It's November 26th. It's Friday, Black Friday, I guess, although that doesn't really figure into what I'm doing. So it's the day I go around the lake, and I would say it's right at sunrise, but it's cloudy, so I don't think we're going to see the sun. The sun is supposed to rise at 8:31, which is just about now. But we'll see if it makes its way through the clouds at any point along here. It's -1 Celsius, so about 30 degrees Fahrenheit. Supposed to be fairly warm today. We're going to get some melting for sure. One forecast said 3, another one said 5, or even 6, so we'll see who's right. And that thing is banging. Let's see if I can do anything about that. Probably not. Probably didn't change anything. If you hear a little ticking sound, it's the mic banging against the gimbal. The mic receiver banging against the gimbal. Guys, I got more editing to do. Also getting a haircut today. Very exciting. Tonight is the first show of Guilty Pleasures with China Lyric Singers. We had our dress rehearsal last night. Not really a dress rehearsal because we weren't dressed up, but run, I guess. Final run. It's a good show. Lots of good music. I'll get more words tomorrow or tonight than I did last night. I know where I need to bone up on the words. So I'll be spending some time doing that today as well. It's at the Hungarian Club at 7:30 tonight and tomorrow night if you live in Regina. Come and see it. Tickets at the door. $20, I believe. I didn't wear my boots today. I only wear my shoes on the theory that it's melted quite a bit, so we'll see if that theory holds up. That's what I'm wearing anyway. Anyway, I think my shoes have as much grip as my boots do. You can see the street lights are still on, but it's certainly lightened up quite a bit. One of these days I'll be heading out around the lake quite early and pretty much in the dark, I imagine. But today I got a little later start than sometimes. I think we'll go clockwise. I think I did counterclockwise last time around the lake, which was actually last Thursday, not last Friday. Last Friday I went downtown for lunch. So I'm enjoying doing the show, but I'll be glad when it's over because it's been a bit of a distraction from a million other things I've got to do. Of course, we are coming up on Christmas, so now we got to get our Christmas tree. We might do that this weekend, order it. We have it delivered because hard to move it in the car. Probably won't get it decorated for a while, but we'll at least get it up. Also need to put up my Christmas lights, such as they are. I just put some lights around the front. More than that. Here's Wally Knight's Bay from Shards of Excalibur. Character lives down there. I always talk about Shards of Excalibur walking around the lake because the lake is an important part of that book series. So far nobody has found me this morning. See the light's still on the bridge there. I don't know what made that popping sound. Ran over something on the street. Running my hand on the metal railing there and it's covered with frost. And here's the lake. We will go clockwise this time, so that's this direction. Lake is frozen, and this little bit of warm weather we're getting isn't going to change that. Because it freezes at night, even if it thaws during the day, and the nights are longer than the days. I don't think we'll see any, even that little rim of open water that was on the other side of the lake last week, where the geese were collected, is now closed over. So it's ice all the way across. I wouldn't walk on it yet. But it is frozen solid. Somewhere over there, the sun has come up. Don't know if we'll see it or not. I was hoping the path would be really nice and cleared now, and it is. So I can walk more briskly. As long as that's true. It's a lot of ice. Maybe the geese have finally given up and headed south. I don't even hear any honking. See, bare ground showing because it's been close to freezing already a few times. The sun will make that expand because the sun hits the bare ground and warms it up. So on these warm days we're going to have, there's at least one next week. It's really warm, it looks like. And the next couple of days going to be above freezing a couple of degrees at least. 2 or 3 degrees, maybe more. It might get a bit brown before we get more snow. There's supposed to be some snow possibly tonight, but nothing significant. And there is snow in the long-range forecast, but there's all sorts of things in the long-range forecast, and it comes and goes, and if you forecast, you would be foolish. So I just laid a building across the ice. Lights on still over there. Not on the building itself, I don't think, which is lit up at night. There's Roberts Plaza over there, the apartment building. Some snow on the ice here. The path is nice and clear. Then when I get home, I've got editing, and I have a phone call with the writer Somebody I'm editing, and then editing, and then I go for my haircut, so I will look well groomed for tonight's concert, and then editing, then supper, and then it's off to the show. I'll stay on the path, especially since I'm wearing my shoes, not my boots. They're building the new pool over there. Oops. You have to watch the occasional patch of ice. See the lights of the trees over there? Not seeing a lot of YouTube action this morning, people checking in. That's okay. Most people watch the replay. Or recording, I guess, is actually the better word. It's not really a replay because you can turn it on and off whenever you want. So, recording. There's Willow Island over there. Easier to see from this angle because of the leaves being gone from the bushes. In the summer, you can't really see it from here because of the foliage. Cars in the parking lot with their lights on for some reason. CBC buildings over there. Walk lights are still on. They'll probably go off soon. It's getting quite bright now. Probably be off already if the sky wasn't a bit cloudy. Not real cloudy, but a bit. Enough to keep us from seeing the sun so far. Island through the bushes again. Of course, it's right over here where Shards of Excalibur starts when the Lady of the Lake shows up. Tells a local girl that she's now the Lady of the scattered shards of Excalibur before Merlin can. He's a bad guy in my book. Modern day guys as Rex Major. 5-book series: Song of the Sword, Twist of the Blade, Lake in the Clouds, Cave Beneath the Sea, Door into Fairy. I highly recommend it, as I would, because I wrote it. Again, Willow Island is one you can actually rent for events. Take a boat over and picnic. Everybody's out Black Friday shopping, I guess, instead of watching me live stream my walk. People, priorities. You can go shopping after you've watched my walk. A bit icier here, gotta be careful. Actually, the most interesting sky for some reason is over that way, even though that's not where the sun is. Island again, the danger. Don't try to walk through it just yet. Dead of winter, there's no reason you couldn't walk through Willow Island. I don't think I will, but you could. Or just sit here and look at it. Able to keep up a brisk pace today since the walkway is so clear. There's the ledge over there now. There's a dog. Who there? This is pretty with the reflection of the sky on it. Oh, and there's the Queen building over there, an actual ship, run as a ship anyway. HMCS Queen. Just like the way the light's reflecting off of the ice. It's actually frost on the sidewalk, which makes it slightly slippery. All right, we'll go down to the right, closer to the lake, instead of just walking along here. Ah, here's some geese now. Oh, there looks like a little patch of open water here. For some reason, yes. There's a little patch of open water that they're congregating around, or at least slush. Over there you can see the headlights of that ice as well. Desperately hanging on, these geese. Fly south. It'll get warmer. Soon the whole lake will be unfrozen. They are mistaken. That's what they're thinking. You can see them. I don't know why there's a bit of open water there. Oh, and there's more over here. It's even bigger bunch over here. I know this is the deepest part of the lake. It might have something to do with it. Bridge probably has frost on it as well. Here's a better look at them. Somebody else down there taking video, and I could hear him talking. Another big batch over here. Over by the lake. They all have comments to make too. Over there, but you can't really see them. We'll see more as we go around. We'll see more on the other side of the lake too. We'll see them a bit over there. This was much more snow covered immediately after the blizzard, as you'd expect. So we have already lost some snow with warm weather. Warmish weather. I was watching Walking Commuter, the guy that walks in, Gabe is his name, that walks in Manhattan every day, pretty much. And yesterday was his coldest walk, and it was basically the temperature that, not quite as cold as it is right now here. And the difference is, I'm thinking really warm weather we're starting to have, and he was thinking really cold weather we're starting to have. I mean, there's other differences between Regina and Manhattan too, not just that one. I'm getting warm while walking. See lots of them over there, geese that is, as well. If I go on the bridge of Pine Island, I should get a good shot of those. Those guys. But first, I gotta keep walking around the lake to get there. Well, you're not much colder, not much warmer than us, because it's about 30 Fahrenheit here at the moment. And going up to 30, possibly 38, 39, 40, depends on which forecast you look at. One forecaster told me +3 today. There's the sun starting to peek through. And another one told me +6. So that's a pretty substantial difference, especially in Celsius degrees. There's a bit more than 5 degrees Fahrenheit difference. So it's the difference between 38 and, no, 43. Either way, we're going to lose snow over the next few days until the next batch comes in and refreshes it. That's the way it works this time of year. Doesn't necessarily stick this time of year, but some of it will still be here because the sun's so low and the shaded areas are still cool. There's the sun, found a crack in the clouds. That's not east, that's very much southeast. Sun rises in the east on the equinox, and after that, it keeps moving south until the shortest day of the year, which is still almost a month away. So, got quite a bit more shortening to do before we be 6 weeks before it's this good again, going the other way. Sky's pretty in that direction. Land of Living Skies. Conan Doyle's book that I was talking about, the former lead singer for Great Big Sea, his book about a Newfoundlander in Canada. You have yellow roses blooming. We don't. He talked about being in Regina and standing on a bridge, probably the Albert Street Bridge, over the creek, and the huge amount of sky. And later on the road to Saskatchewan, so if you crouch down just right, you couldn't see any ground at all. All you saw was sky through all the windows. You have to crouch down very far because it's so flat. He said, boys, boys, it was, because they're Newfoundlanders, we're drowning in sky. Land of Living Skies. No more so than any other prairie area, but that's on our license plate. All right, well, yeah, we'll go over to Pine Island. Should get a good look at those geese and that little bit of open water they found over there. They're not finding any over here now. That's about all we'll see of the sun, because now I turn away from it, it'll be behind me, and it's also going to go back by. He made a brief appearance back across the ice. The skies are very pretty in this direction too, though, and the reflection on the ice is very pretty. See, this snow is melted. Hillsides often melt because they get more sun, although this would be a shady side, but still. It will get browner this week, I think, although there is, as I said, they'll say, oh, no snow in the forecast, and 2 days later you're having a blizzard, so not going to take any of that seriously. Just wait and see what comes. 2 days out, they're usually pretty good. 5 days out is iffy. 14 days out is just ridiculous. It's just, you could just make something up and have as much chance of being right almost. Thanks, Colleen. Hopefully I don't break one on this walk before singing tonight. Break a leg, she said. So I have that concert tonight with Regina lyric singers. Guilty pleasures. Songs you like, but you know you're not supposed to. The sky and the ice. I tried Pine Island. I didn't walk around it last time because it was so snowy and icy, but maybe we'll give it a go today, see what it's like on the island. It's probably clear-ish. Well, I don't know. Path over there does not look well cleared, so, and without the waterfall, there's not that much reason to go over there. But at least go on the bridge. These are ducks. They really miss open water. They won't stay long. Not exactly in a hurry to get out of my way either. There they are. A little bit of open water out there that they're trying to make use of. Well, maybe the path's okay. It's hard to tell from the other side of the water. We'll go around the lake, around the island, and then get a good look at them from the walkway down there. They haven't cleared. And it's quite shaded here because of the trees. Okay, I was right. They haven't really cleared the walkway. I'm committed now. See, the sun is way back over there, and east is more kind of that way. Okay. No waterfall. It'd be pretty once it turned to icicles, but here's the geese, clustered by the little bit of open water they found. Over here and get a good look at them. Mostly they're standing on the ice, but there's just a little bit of open water right now. And carry around, they peter out till that other batch I looked at earlier, which is further down there, kind of that dark streak on the ice, where there's another bit of open water. There you go. Geese on the ice. Wishing they'd flown south already. Bird watcher up here, I think. They're all wishing they'd already flown south. Actually, he had a camera, a big camera with the telephoto, so she's taking bird photos. Morning.
Morning. Get some good photos on you?
I think so. Meanwhile, the ducks are sitting over here. And a couple of pigeons. A view of them. Getting lots of these sort of landscape shots across the lake. I'll have a hard time picking one for my thumbnail today. Maybe the algorithm will pick a good one, but they usually don't. Algorithm, for some reason, likes to take pictures of cars. One of the suggested thumbnails is always a car, which is really boring. Another good shot, well framed by the branches on either side. It's like going on the island, I fell behind these folks who were behind me. Now I'll have to pass them. Renew. What's that? Oh yeah, there's lots of Black Friday sales going on today, but I avoid them. Unless I really need something, then I won't go to the store. Might order something online on Black Friday, but the greatest savings you can have on Black Friday is not to buy anything at all. Little known fact. But yeah, all the stores will be doing that. It's like everywhere else. One thing I'm doing for Black Friday is getting a haircut. And I imagine it's still full price. On the way home now, homeward part of the walk, having turned the far end of the lake, heading more or less west. A little north of west at the moment, I think. The city building is always your landmark. Joggers. always refrain from talking when I'm right behind somebody, so I don't think I'm talking to them. So I've seen the usual suspects: walkers, joggers, dog walkers. You always see anybody else. This is a park, Wascana Center, one of the largest, and it's not was planted. Possibly there's some willows by the water. You know, and there could be things that have sprung up since the original planting, but this would be bald prairie, and was when the lake was first formed. There were no trees around it because it's an artificial lake. All of these trees are planted. Lots of birds. If you go back a little bit, there's a whole bunch of, we'll see them again up here maybe. There's a whole bunch of geese on the ice. There's a little bit of open water there clustered around. And ducks still hanging around, haven't headed south yet. They have to, because ducks have to have open water to feed, pretty much. So, and of course there's other things. I think that's a blue jay over there I just saw. There are lots of smaller animals, you know, squirrels. Occasionally a raccoon might wander in, I've read or been told. On a rare occasion, something larger will follow the creek into town. You'll get deer. Once in a blue moon, a moose will find its way in. And once in a really blue moon, a cougar has been known to be spotted in the area. That's fairly rare. Of course, the ones you spot, there could be others you don't spot. So yeah, there's animals. Antelope out on the plains. Bears up north. Wolverines up north. Beavers, of course. All that stuff. But here in the park, mostly birds and squirrels and dogs. Sun is up. A glimpse of it before it disappeared again. Should be sunny later though. It looks clear to the west, so if it clears right off, we'll definitely get a lot of melting today. There we go. You can see the geese there, that black line of them out in the ice. Southern Saskatchewan doesn't do forests. We're part of the Great Plains, except where there's a bit of a higher land. So Cypress Hills in the southwest, which are the highest points between the Rockies and the Laurentian, have their own micro biome. There was a big fire in the 19th century, and it's much more sparsely covered now. Moose Mountain, which is not a mountain, but it is higher land. So by our standards, it's kind of a mountain. It's all forest around it, and there's lakes there as well, and that's natural forest. But most of southern Saskatchewan is treeless, except where they've been planted, like here. When I worked at the city, there were 250,000 trees, they figured, in Regina, all of which were planted. I think it's more like 280,000 now. fountaining. Used to actually stand in Trafalgar Square in London. Came over in 1939. Probably coincided with the King's visit that year. Royal visit. And this is the east wing of the Legislative Building. You can see quite a bit of clear sky there to the west now. Might go up the steps today. I haven't been up there for a little bit. The total number, I would imagine it does, but I don't know. That might just be city-owned trees. I wouldn't have a count otherwise. So somebody following me. Walking along the same path anyway. Not quite the same thing as following me. We are at the east entrance to the Legislative Building. Mentioned it's all lit up at night. There's the lights. We'll go down this way because I don't usually. Get right in close here. There is a path there, but it's not exactly cleared. But go down here. There's entrance down there of some sort. And here we come to the main entrance. We'll go up the steps, take a look across the snow-covered ornamental gardens. So here's the main entrance to the Saskatchewan Legislative Building. There you can see the cornerstone, erected 1908 to 1911, stone laid by His Excellency Earl Grey, Governor General, October 4th, 1909. And then I mentioned the 1939 visit. This inscription commemorates that. And if you stand right in the middle, you get this view over the gardens distance. And a car kind of spoiling the shot. Keep moving, keep moving, keep moving. There we go. Whatever you said, I don't know. It went by too fast. I couldn't read it. I'll have to read it later. All I see is the end of that long scroll. I only get like one paragraph before it scrolls up and out of sight. But I'll see it when I look at the Facebook feed later. All I can see is that it was something from CJME about cities being part of some program. Something to do with trees, maybe? Here's the Queen, of course, as I've often mentioned. Alice and I, my daughter, were here when she was here, 2005, to dedicate the statue of her on one of her favorite horses, which had a Saskatchewan. My daughter was able to give her flowers. We were standing right over here. I don't think we were on this path. I think we were on the closer path, but it might have been this path. Anyway, it's pouring rain. She had a clear plastic umbrella so you could see her. And she did her little walkabout, and she went by Alice without seeing the flowers, but then she looked back and saw this little girl with flowers, and she turned around and came back to make sure she got them. I got a great picture of her, a great picture of Alice. I don't have a picture of the two of them together because they were too close. I couldn't get them both in the shot. I don't know, something else there. That's too much to read right now. Something about trees. It must have been, the lower number must have been the city. It's been the city planted trees. Because there was an article just recently about they were losing trees. And that certainly, they didn't show a 500,000 number then. So the lower one might be the city-owned trees, the higher one might be all the trees. I don't know. The only information I have is what I see in certainly wasn't 500,000 when I worked at the city that we used. It was 250,000. I know very well that because I put it out in a press release for something or other. So maybe that was city owned or city planted trees. And it doesn't count private trees. Or they just inflated the number over the years to look good. Who counts them, really? You know how many you planted. You don't know how many other people have planted, and nobody's going 1, 2, 3, 4. It's all an estimate, like crowd estimates. How big the crowd is depends on who's doing the estimating. There's the bridge. Ice is very smooth and reflective. This is definitely faster than last week's walk when it was much more slippery. I mean, 500,000 sounds like a more reasonable number for the total number of trees in the city. Counting everything that everybody plants, because everybody has at least one tree pretty much around their property, and some people have lots. So, and the population is 220,000 or thereabouts. So, say actual houses would be much less than that, of course. But then again, if it averaged out to 2 trees per house, that alone would add a couple of 100,000 to the total, probably. Well, there's another look back across the ice before we turn our backs on it now. See all the frost on the bridge here. And there's the dam. There's a little bit of open water on the other side there because water is flowing down the spillway. I can hear it a little bit. under the bridge, a couple more blocks, we're home, or I'm home, don't know where you are. Maybe you're killing time at work. Maybe you're standing in line for a Black Friday sale. Maybe you're on a treadmill. One guy told me a few days ago that he likes to walk on the treadmill. Although he probably doesn't listen to my blather in that case, I would imagine. Just have the images and maybe music playing. But, lights are still. The nice springy colors are nice when the spring is no longer with us. There's Speaker's Corner, which I walked through a couple days ago. Okay. That guy up there, I was following around the lake. He must live in my neighborhood. Again, that's where Wally Knight lives in the Shards of Excalibur series. This is the slipperiest part I've encountered. Is like 2 blocks from my house. But then when I fell a couple of weeks ago, that was also about 2 blocks from my house. So that's when you have to be the most careful. It's like driving. Most accidents happen close to home. It's going to be quite sunny and warm here very soon. The sun won't get very high, but it'll never reach this part of the sky. It'll be over there somewhere, at best. Walking really fast around the lake, had to slow down here on the sidewalks close to home. Some sort of work vehicle up here. Gee, it's the downward slopes in the driveways that'll really get you if they're icy. If foot goes sideways, it's hard to catch yourself when that happens. Rain soft water softener, that's what that is. Or rain soft water. No, bottled water maybe delivered. This guy is still ahead of me. If he turns the same way as me on the crescent, we really are neighbors. My daughter's old elementary school ahead of us there. Davin School. Oh, I didn't realize my microphone had slipped and is no longer pointing at my mouth. Sorry about that. Don't know when that happened. I'm lucky I didn't lose it. So I was probably a bit muffled there for a while. It's always something. It's rare for one of these walks to happen with nothing weird going on. Didn't see any buffering warnings though. Unstable internet warnings. Okay, where's he going? Down the alley maybe? Yes, so here we will separate. Okay, almost back. Get back to that big editing job I'm working on. All right, stopping here. So there we go. Black Friday walk around the lake. Special deal, it was free. And tomorrow, maybe, I'm not promising, might go to Agribition, but I'm not promising. It just might not work out, but we'll see. Anyway, thanks for walking with me. I'll be back. Bye for now.